So we have seen the numbering and grouping and setup access and paging channels. So in numbering and grouping, we have seen that there will be 666 channels will be there, out of which 21 or 42 channels will be the setup channels and remaining are the voice channels. And we have seen the setup access and paging channels. So paging is nothing but sending a control message before setting up or initiating the call. So that is nothing but paging channel. Now today we will see the channel assignment to cell sites and mobile units. So this is the last topic. So this is the last topic in unit 3, channel assignment to cell sites and mobile units. So we will see the channel assignment to cell site and mobile unit. So channel assignment to traveling mobile units. So how to assign the channels to the traveling mobile units. So this is nothing but the first topic. So in this, if the traffic density is uniform, means if the buildings are uniformly distributed and if the traffic density is uniform, the unsymmetrical mobile unit antenna pattern does not affect the system operation much. So the unsymmetrical mobile unit antenna pattern, it does not affect the system operations. However, when the traffic becomes heavier as more cars approach the city, so when the traffic density becomes more, the traffic pattern becomes non-uniform. Therefore, the traffic patterns will become non-uniform. There will not be any uniformity. And the sites closest to the city or in the city can't receive the expected number of calls. So if the traffic becomes heavier, then the sites closest to the city can't receive the expected number of calls. And neither does it receive the number of handoffs in the morning because of the mobile unit antenna pattern. So this is the situation in the morning. So if the traffic becomes heavier, the site closest to the city can't receive the expected number of calls or handoffs in the morning. So we'll see what happens at night. At night, as the cars move out of the city, the cell site closest to the city would have a hard time handing off calls to the sites away from the city. So this is the situation during the night times. So at night time, as the cars move out of the city, the cell sites closest to the city would have a hard time handing off calls to the sites away from the city. So to solve the daytime and the nighttime problems, we have to use less transmitted power for both setup and voice channels. Generally, there will be a certain amount of power will be assigned to the setup and voice channel. But in order to solve these problems during the daytime and the nighttime, we have to use less transmitted power for both setup and voice channel for certain cell sites. We also have to raise the threshold level for reverse setup channel. So there will be certain threshold level for the reverse setup channel. As we know, there will be forward setup channel and reverse setup channel. So both will have certain threshold level. So for the reverse setup channel, we have to raise the threshold level, and voice channel at certain cell sites in order to control the acceptance of incoming calls and handoff calls. So the threshold levels for reverse setup channel and voice channel has to be raised. So three methods can be, in order to control the acceptance of incoming calls and handoff calls, three methods can be used. What are those methods? First one is underlay overlay. Second one is frequency assignment. Third one is tilted antenna. These are the three methods used to improve the reverse voice channel and reverse channel and voice channel. So first one is underlay and overlay. So in this, the traffic capacity and of an omnidirectional cell or a directional cell can be increased by using the underlay overlay arrangement. So in how to increase increase the traffic capacity, it can be done by using an underlay and overlay arrangement. Either it can be using omnidirectional cell or it can be a directional cell. Both can be increased by using the underlay or overlay arrangement. So in this, what is underlay? Underlay is the inner circle. So we will be dividing the regions into cells. So each cell will have inner circle and the outer circle. So underlay is the inner circle and overlay is the outer circle. The transmitted power of the voice channels at the site are adjusted for these two areas. So the transmitted power of the voice channels are adjusted for inner circle and outer circle. Inner circle means underlay, outer circle means overlay. So then different voice frequencies are assigned to each area. So the inner lay and the outer lay, underlay and the outer lay will have different voice frequencies. So as you can see, this is the cell site. It has, this is the underlay. This is the underlay. This is the underlay circle. And the top, and this is the overlay circle. This is the overlay circle. The outer one is the overlay circle. The inner one is the underlay circle. So in an omnidirectional cell, the frequency reuse distance of a 7-cell reuse pattern is D equal to 4.6 R, where R is the radius of the cell. One overlay and one underlay will be there. Because of the sectorization in a directional cell, the channel assignment has a different algorithm in 6 regions. That is 3 overlay region and 3 underlay region. So if we use the directional antennas, and if there is a sectorization, then the channel assignment has a 6 regions. It has a 6 regions, 3 overlay region and 3 underlay region. So this is 1, 2, 3, 3 underlay region, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 are the overlay regions. These are the total 6 regions will be there if sectorization or directional cells are used. If sectorization or directional antennas are used, there will be total 6 divisions. So 1, 2, 3, 3 divisions for underlay and 1, 1, 1, 1, 2 and 1, 3 for the overlay. So this is the first method. So underlay and overlay. Second one is frequency assignment. Second one is frequency assignment. So we assign the frequencies by a set of channels or any port of a set or more than one set of the total 21 sets. So we assign frequencies of the total 21 sets. Borrowed frequency sets are used when needed. So as you know, we can borrow the frequency sets also. So these borrowed frequency sets can be used when needed. On the basis of coverage prediction, we can assign frequencies intelligently at one site or cut one sector without interfering with adjacent co-channel sectors or co-channel cells. So this is the second method, frequency assignment. First method is underlay overlay method. First method is underlay overlay method. Second one is frequency assignment. And third one is tilted antenna. So the third method is tilted antenna. So the tilted directional antenna arrangement can eliminate interference. So when we tilt the directional antenna, we can eliminate the interference. Sometimes antenna tilting is more efficient than decreasing antenna height. So we can eliminate the interference either by antenna height decrease or tilting the antenna. So antenna tilting is more efficient when compared to antenna height decrease in areas of tall trees or at high sites. When tilting antenna angle becomes 22 degrees or greater, the horizontal pattern creates a notch in the front of the antenna, which can further reduce the interference. So if we tilt the angle more than 22 degrees, then it will create a notch in the front of the antenna, which can further reduce the interference. Now coming to fixed channel assignment. So we have seen the three methods. So assignment to traveling mobile units we have seen. Now coming to fixed antennas. Fixed channel assignment. Fixed channel assignment. Adjacent channel assignment include neighboring channels assignment and next channel assignment. So we have seen the adjacent channels. So in adjacent channels we have neighboring channels and next channels. Next channels means next to the site, and neighboring channels means it may be one or two neighbors apart. It can be one or two neighbors apart. So that is nothing but neighboring channel assignment. So we have seen the adjacent channel assignment, which includes the neighboring channel assignment and next channel assignment. So this is the omnidirectional antenna cell. Omnidirectional antenna cell. So omnidirectional means in all directions. So this antenna is propagating in all directions. So it has horizontal lines like this. So this is nothing but omnidirectional antenna cells. X means adjacent channel not allowed. So X means adjacent channel not allowed. In this, the adjacent channels are not allowed. X, 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 X. This X means adjacent channels are not allowed in this. This X means in this the adjacent channels are not allowed. So this is omnidirectional antenna. This delta means channel assigned. So this delta means channel is assigned. This delta means channel is assigned. Okay. So this is omnidirectional antenna cell. It is radiating in all the directions. Now coming to the directional antenna cell. In directional antenna cell, we have tick mark. So this tick mark are the adjacent channels are allowed. So here tick mark. In this we can allow the adjacent channel. In this tick mark, we can allow the adjacent channel. In this tick mark, we can allow the adjacent channel because we are using the directional antenna cells. When we use the directional antenna cells, the direction of the antenna beam will be in a particular direction. So this is in this direction. So for this, it is in this direction. For this, it is in this direction. For this, it is in this direction. So this is nothing but directional antenna cells. So the near and far end interference can occur among the neighboring channels. So near end, we have seen near end and far end interference. So the near and far end interference can occur among the neighboring channels. Therefore, within a cell, we have to be sure to assign neighboring channels in an omnidirectional cell system and in a directional cell system. In an omnidirectional cell system, if one channel is assigned to the middle cell of 7 cells, next channel cannot be assigned in the same cell. So this is the omnidirectional antenna cell. If one cell is assigned a particular frequency, the next cell cannot be assigned that frequency. It has to be different frequency. Also, next channel should be assigned in the next 6 neighboring sites in the same same cell system area. Now coming to directional antenna cell. In a directional antenna cell system, if one channel is assigned to a phase, next channel cannot be assigned to the same phase. So phases means in which direction it is facing. So if one channel is assigned to a phase, next channel cannot be assigned to the same phase or to the other two phases in the same cell. Also, the next channel can't be assigned to the other two phases at the same cell. Sometimes the next channels are assigned in the next sector of the same cells in order to increase capacity. So in that case, performance can still be in the tolerance range if the design is proper. So channel sharing and borrowing, it is not there in the syllabus. So you omit the syllabus from here. You omit the syllabus from here, channel sharing and borrowing. So remaining topics are not there. Channel sharing and borrowing, sectorization, overlaid sales, non-fixed channel assignment. These topics are not there in the syllabus. So up to here, only these three topics are there in the syllabus. So with this, unit 3 is completed. So I will cover the next unit in the coming class. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Say yes or no. If you don't have any questions, I will conclude here today. Okay, thank you very much.